He continues to mount the points. Here's Larry Bird, and he comes back and answers it.
It's like Bill Fitch is telling him, you've got the hot hand, my man. You've got to shoot that shot.
The Boston Garden crowd witnessed another Larry Bird showcase as the rookie poured in 36 points, controlling the game with his scoring touch and all-around play. With Rick Roby adding a monster double-double, the Celtics outmuscled the Clippers and pulled away with a comfortable win. San Diego leaned heavily on World Free's 35 points and Bingo Smith's 21, but the Clippers couldn't keep pace with Boston's balance and Bird's brilliance. The victory added to Boston's strong push in the 1979-80 season, where Bird was quickly proving himself as one of the league's brightest young stars.
Here's Larry Bird, who'll be playing in the All-Star game. Archibald. There's Chris Ford. He's already set up outside the three-point play, and inside we have a foul. Larry Bird will inbounds the ball, averaging almost 19 points a game. Here's Archibald. This team lost Friday night. They've lost only 4 games at home, but they don't want to lose 2 in a row.
They haven't lost 2 in a row, only 1 time this year.
There's Maxwell, who's leading the NBA in field goal percentage. He cannot hang on, and San Diego will have it. Now, one thing about San Diego, Keith, is they actually have set plays, don't they, for the three-pointers?
They do, as a team, and we're going to see a lot of them today, no question.
And here is all-world Lloyd Free, second in the NBA in scoring, only to George Gervin. There's Bingo Smith. He's been a fine acquisition since being picked up from Cleveland. Backdoor Free, and we're going to have a foul.
Guy with a bad ankle, so have to be jumping as high as Lloyd Free can right here. He had to go up high to get that ball, and watch him when he comes down. Right on the back of Chris Ford, and he's trying to protect that ankle.
Archibald, 3 on him. Here's Bird. Bingo Smith playing him tough defense. Into Maxwell. Wicks on him, and Tiny Archibald. Look at the hustle by Archibald. He is in this team. He's the guy they can probably least afford to lose. Here's Larry Bird. Nice move.
That's right. It was a beautiful pass from Archibald. It had to be out there far enough so Bird had to stretch for it, and the defensive man went by, allowed Bird to go to the basket freely.
That's the reason Archibald's second in the NBA assist. 3-point play. Bingo Smith from outside. Team trailing 7-4. The Celtics, one of the surprise teams this year in the NBA. Larry Bird, and he's fouled as he goes inside.
Nice move by Larry Bird. He's got great instincts. Coming in, he doesn't play like a rookie. He's been doing it all, averaging over 18 points a game, over 10 rebounds a game, over 4 assists a game.
Bingo Smith picking up the foul. Boy, he's been everybody's. Well, they said coming in here, he's one of the great players to come out of college basketball in a decade, and he has lived up to all that billing.
He sure has. A lot of people questioned his speed. That he said he wasn't very fast, couldn't get up and down the floor, but he does adequately getting up and down the floor, but he does so well in all the other areas of the game. He more than makes up for that little bit of.
He's kind of deceptive, isn't he? He gets down there and you don't think he's moving that well.
That's right.
7-6. 1-point lead now for San Diego. There's Free. Boy, can this guy jump. Into Nader, back to Free. Free can handle the ball so well, and there's an example of why he's second in the NBA in scoring.
That's cussing George Gervin out. Gervin scores so well. Lloyd Free would love to lead the league in scoring.
It's quite a battle. Bird, that'll be, nope, it's a two-pointer. He was not outside the line. Bill Fitch thought he was.
Yeah, he was. Tommy Nunes, he failed to give the sign.
All right, it was a three-pointer. Taylor blocked by Roby. What a play by Rick Roby. Archibald back. Maxwell. That's where he's tough, is inside. He will not get it, though. It's a loose. Archibald, there's a good pick by Maxwell, and they executed that well.
That's just a gorgeous play, and then they broke down again defensively.
And you've got to make a transition against these guys, don't you?
That's what I was saying a minute ago. When Archibald got his own offensive rebound, you've got to block him out, but you also have to be aware of defense coming the other way. Archibald drove the lane beautifully.
Archibald, 3 on him. Well, they push him outside on the floor, don't they, defensively?
Force him as far out as possible, and out pretty far.
Here's Roby. Nader trying to pick him up. Ford, boy, the minute he sets, they come out on him now. Great respect for his shooting. Bird, Maxwell, and another follow by Maxwell. This time it'll count.
Offensive rebounding. Sidney Wicks must concentrate on Cornbread Maxwell to keep him off of that board.
13-11. This will be a three-point attempt, and Bingo Smith is 2 for 2 from that area. Some talk that Nader might move to power forward when Walton comes back.
That'd be a pretty devastating lineup, wouldn't it?
Here's Maxwell. It was tipped out. Roby will save. 6:51 to go in this first quarter. Archibald, we got a mismatch somewhere. Here's Bird. And they got it off just as the shot clock ran out. 3 off to Taylor, and Taylor pulls up, three-pointer. Well, they put those up as though it's just a matter-of-fact way of playing this game. 14-13, the Clippers. Archibald directing things. Bingo Smith having a tough time with Maxwell inside. Three-pointer. Larry Bird hitting a three-pointer.
He's got two himself.
We may have a record today.
That's right. Phenomenal shooting. I'll tell you, that's tough out there.
It's a long ways out there, isn't it?
22 feet from the sidelines, 23-9 out in front.
16-14. That three-point play has really helped these two clubs. Swin Nader can't get it off. Here's the break to Ford. And he saves it off, I think. Well, it's off of the Celtics. It'll be San Diego's ball, and we have a timeout called by the Boston Celtics. 5:58 to go in this first quarter of play. Let's look at Nader's move in the middle.
Looked like it was a foul by Larry Bird right there. The official didn't call it. The ball was out. Fine pass, but they weren't able to capitalize.
In the league. Here's Bird. It's a three-point attempt. Roby, left-hander. And Bird battling. Look at him fight for the board. He got it. He's fouled.
What a job. Bird and Maxwell were in there. Two great offensive rebounders. This San Diego team, that's the one thing they've got to concentrate on. Blocking those guys off the offensive boards.
Larry Bird already has 12 points in this game.
Beautiful left-handed hook shot by Roby. Bird just came through. Nader and Wicks put that ball up on Swin Nader, who picked up the foul.
Bird scoring well. You know, he'd scored at least 20 points 3 times the last 14 games. But today, he looks like he's going to go to that standard in a hurry. 19-16 on the three-point play for the Celtics. From the line as well as from the field. And here is Bird coming up with a good defensive play. Ford. The Archibald. Boy, he keeps the tempo going. There's another assist to him as Roby puts it in.
He does.
I think it's an exciting prospect to think these two guys are going to be teammates.
Well, you better believe it. Red Auerbach is extremely excited about that. How about the Cowboy and the City Slicker right there?
You were kidding about the fact that Cowens came in here with a tie on and dress slacks and his green sneakers.
That's right. He's sitting over on the bench with his foot
he
up
has,
in the air right now.
He's out until at least the All-Star break, and they miss him. But both those guys are going to be wearing the green and white of Boston. 21-16. The Celtics on top. 4 minutes to go. First quarter. Wicks on the move. Roby battling in there. Boy, he just fights you for everything. Off to Ford. No changes in the lineup as far as Boston is concerned, and that's the same similar situation with San Diego. No substitutions thus far. Archibald, backdoor, intended for Ford, but Taylor was there. Free. That's the thing about Free. You know he's a good shooter, but I don't think people realize how well he handles the ball.
And
ball that well. Here's Bingo. Bird inside, and he's done a job on the boards, hasn't he?
He really has.
Bird all the way this time. Maxwell follows it. What a follow tip that was.
What an incredible tip. Nice drive by Bird, the length of the floor, taking that ball down the lane. But Maxwell inside position again, reaching way back and just tapped that ball in.
You look at Maxwell, and it looks like he's not going to get from one end of the floor to the other, but he gets it done, doesn't he?
Both his feet are going in different directions. His arms are too.
Nader kicks it out. Three-point play. Bingo misses his first of the afternoon. Here comes Roby. Ford. And you can see how quickly you've got to make the transition to the other end or you're going to be caught napping. Here's Bird. Boy, did he look tough there.
There was a mismatch that time. Lloyd Free was guarding Bird, and that should never happen out there. And the Celtics took advantage of it.
Bird already with 15 points. Bingo Smith going back to the other end.
Gene Shue was standing up as Bingo came down 1 against 4, and Shue saying, hold the ball up, but Bingo never heard him. And then, of course, Gene Shue sat down and said, nice shot, Bingo.
Just the way I called it.
That's right.
5-point lead now. Archibald Free with that ankle, staying with him pretty tough. Ford in trouble. Out it comes to Taylor. Bingo, 2-on-1. Smith again, and Smith is having an excellent first quarter of play.
Oh, he sure is. That was a beautiful drive coming down that time against the much taller Larry Bird. Watch him put this move on Larry Bird. Jumped into him a little bit. Bird had to retreat. Bingo dropped that ball through.
He has 12 points. Bird has 15 for Boston. The high point men for the respective clubs. Roby on an assist from Archibald.
Nice pass by Nate Archibald. Most guys in this league are going to be able to knock that shot down when you're wide open like that. 6
points for Roby. Archibald just generates all kinds of things. What a catalyst he is. 27-22 the score. Free. Ford can't handle him.
Well, you talk about generating a lot of things out there on the floor. When Lloyd's got that ball, everybody must beware.
And Maxwell. Boy, how did he get down there so quickly?
That's right. By watching him, you can't believe it that he got down on that break.
Cornbread Maxwell. He is leading the NBA in field goal percentage, 62%, and it's shots like that that help your percentage.
I'll tell you, that's about the best percentage shot ever.
Here's Wicks. Maxwell on him. 47 seconds to go. First quarter. Bingo with Bird playing the tough defense. Free with the ball and 2 more points.
Oh, he's just so tough. He protects that ball with his body so well, and little Nate Archibald had no chance to jump with him that time.
He's had 49 points, and that hurt. Oh, did that hurt? Archibald really hit the deck as the penalty will go in. Boy, he just didn't protect himself at all on that play.
That's the kind of a play where you can really hurt yourself trying to get through 2 men with those knees sticking out on either side. Oftentimes you get hit right in the thigh. Let's see if we can pick it up. Lloyd Free and Bingo Smith out there. Lloyd Free got him. He fell heavily to the floor, holding his leg like he has a Charlie horse.
And they still suit Maravich up before the day's over. They're fast running out of people to play.
Well, he's on the injury reserve list.
I say that facetiously,
right.
but you know, Archibald is the key, and they've said all along if anything would happen to him, they didn't have anyone to go to. That's where Maravich could play a very key role.
Oh, that's exactly right. A ball handler and a floor leader out there. Archibald is just... Everybody talks about Larry Bird and how he's come in and turned this team around, but you've got to give credit to Nate Archibald, to M.L. Carr coming in, Maxwell, who's playing so well. Of course, they all blend so well together. Bill Fitch has had a big part in getting them to play together.
Here's Archibald. He'll have 2 shots coming. The penalty in at 31 seconds to go in this first quarter. 29-26. You know, we talked about Archibald, the fact that he's doing well in the assist department. He's shooting 80% from the line. He's hitting about 48% from the field. He's just done it all. And the thing is, up to this point, he just couldn't stay in the lineup. He'd played 100 games, I think, in 3 years. Advantage of it. He has found a home in Boston. Here's Williams at the other end. Nice touch.
Well, I'd say you'd have to have more of a break than just touch on that shot. That almost stopped on the top of the backboard and then fell back through.
You could have taken a vote on that one before it came through. 33-28. Look at the pressure put on by Free as he plays forward tough. Maxwell has been giving him difficulty inside. Rebound by Free. Bryant that time doing a pretty good job when he got that ball into Maxwell. Free from outside, and he got it, and he's fouled by Ford, and that's 3 fouls now on Chris Ford. Go until halftime. At half, we'll be showing you the All-Stars for that February 3rd game to be played in the Capitol Center. Here's Henderson. Mismatch somewhere, and they used it.
Oh, what a beautiful job that time. There was definitely a mismatch with the big man inside all by himself.
That game goes into first place in that Central Division. Roby, Nader on him. M.L. Carr getting ready to come into the Boston lineup. Chaney. And Chaney's only shooting 35% from the field. Maxwell follows, and he's doing yeoman work on the offensive board. Bird respecting that 3-point possibility from Bingo Smith. That's a 2-pointer. He shot that inside the line.
He's got a beautiful jump shot. If there are any youngsters want to learn how to shoot, Bingo Smith is the guy to watch.
He has 14 points, Keith. His high for the year was 23. He's had that patented rainbow jumper.
He sure has for years and years.
Maxwell to Roby. Roby bringing Nader outside with him. Into Maxwell again. Nader back. He can't block him, but he intimidated Chaney to follow.
Another offensive rebound for the Celtics. Done.
Bryant back. Bingo Smith blocked beautifully by Maxwell. Smith again. Nader tips it out to Bryant. Good hustle by San Diego, but still no points, and Nader gets it.
Oh, great job. It's about time San Diego got on the boards, and they did it that time.
That could turn a game around for you, can't it, when you keep battling like that? There's Henderson, but wait a minute.
Well, here's that job that was done. Swen Nader, he knocked Larry Bird out of there that time. Bird kept his feet until Joe Bryant came in, tried to draw the offensive foul. They both went to the floor. Swen Nader doing a yeoman's job. Beautiful offensive rebound. It's about time. And look at him. Where's the foul? Offensive boards to San Diego 6.
M.L. Carr has now checked in for the Celtics, who lead it 39-35. And what a play that time by Carr. That's kind of an honor to be a 6th man in the Boston Celtic tradition. Backdoor, beautiful play. That basket will count, and a foul coming up, but Nader really set Brian Taylor up in excellent fashion.
You don't see too many big guys that can throw that no-look pass. Drop that ball down on the floor. No help out from the weak side, and the foul by Henderson.
And Taylor on Henderson. Henderson extremely quick. That's the name of his game. He really moves off the ball as well as with the ball. There's Bird looking for help. Chaney As they have 8 seconds on the shot clock, they'll let Cheney shoot out there. They'd like to have him take that shot. He doesn't want it. Henderson with 3 seconds on the shot clock.
Henderson has that quickness, but he also shoots the ball awfully well. You can't leave him alone.
Henderson, the guy who was a 3rd-round draft pick of San Antonio in '78 and came here as a free agent this year after playing in the Western League. And nice play to Nader.
Beautiful backdoor play. Swen faked up with his left foot and cut back to the basket. Sidney hit him with that nice pass.
44-42, Larry Bird. Bird having an outstanding afternoon. He looks like he could be headed for one of his biggest days of the year. 19 thus far. Bird comes away with it. Up to Carr. Bird again, and he's doing it all.
Not only Larry Bird does he score a lot of points. Tonight he's got 21 already this afternoon. M.L. Carr shoots that ball to the basket, and Bird with that great second effort going to the offensive boards. He passes the ball, he rebounds, he does it all.
The other end, Williams. Wicks tries to follow Maxwell, who's been tough on the boards. Comes away with it to Henderson. Henderson, look at him move.
Oh, what a beautiful shot. They're not missing Nate Archibald while Henderson's doing a fine job.
I think this guy's a hungry basketball player.
You bet. They're the kind that make the great players when they come in hungry.
And so a timeout is called. That's the biggest lead of this game now, as they lead it 50-42.
Henderson driving the lane beautifully. Taylor right there with him. He just put that ball off the board, and it just went down like a bullet.
And Cheney off to M.L. Carr. 3:52 to go till the end of this first half of play. Celtics losing Friday night. San Diego trying to break a 5-game losing streak, and Bird's on the move. Left-handed.
And he's on his wallet after that shot. Beautiful left-handed shot.
23 points for the Bird, and free. Boy, you better not count your blessings. You better get down the other end and be ready to play defense.
That's exactly right. Everybody was standing around clapping as Larry Bird made that shot. Nice shot, Larry. Nobody got back on that big D.
Free with 17 points, 52-44. Maxwell, whoops, too tough, but Bird's there to save it. He's doing it all. 3-point play. That was a tough one, as he didn't set up all that well. And a foul against Don Cheney reaching. Roby also checks back in for the Celtics. This is a 3-point play.
Well, we're seeing it, and the 2 premier shooters in the league haven't made any yet.
Yeah, they're going to save it till the second half. We understand they don't have a league record right now, to our knowledge, how many has been hit in a game. We could set one here today. So pushing and shoving, and Carr is caught. M.L. Carr picking up the foul.
Of course, Dave Cowens, nobody plays harder than Cowens, so they really have blended well.
You know, Wicks is shooting only 50% from the line, but he can those. 55-49. Archibald using a pick. Here's Cheney. And Don gets that one to go. 6-point lead for the Celtics. Cheney going to try another one. Why not?
Yeah, he's got the feeling. Let me have it, partner.
Taylor trying to stay with Tiny. Off to Cheney. 3 in a row, maybe? Nope. Roby follows. And he was wide open on that follow tip. Roby comes out of the pack, and they're all jumbled up there. Bird hustling down. Larry Bird, great effort. Look at that pass. Roby then will be called for fouling as he tries to reach over Sidney Wicks.
The place would have gone wild if Roby had made that jump shot after that beautiful pass by Larry Bird. No look over the head. Watch this pass as he came into the lane. He saw Roby cutting by him. Nobody expected that pass, and that's probably why Roby missed the shot. He didn't expect it at all.
You know, that puts a lot of pressure on a shooter when somebody makes a great pass like that, doesn't it?
That's right, and you know what happens? You just know that the fans are starting to leave their chairs. They're getting up, they're halfway up, ready to just burst out with the applause, and you say, I've got to make this shot. That's right, it looked like it came out a little bit tight out of his arm that time.
All right, Wicks at the line again, and he's kind of homesteading it. As we mentioned, he has not been a good free throw shooter. He worked hard during the summer. I guess Pete Newell worked with him, trying to improve his game. The rookie, he averaged almost 15 seconds. Cheney to Archibald. San Diego, believe it or not, is 18 of 20 from the free throw line. Here's Cheney. 3 brings it down. 3 seconds. You see it on the screen. 3-pointer is good by Taylor. Brian Taylor, who we mentioned is leading the entire NBA in 3-point attempts, or I should say made and attempts for that matter.
Well, look how far out this shot was. If they had a 4-pointer, that would definitely be it, wouldn't it? Way outside. Watch as the clock goes off, that ball goes through. A beautiful shot by the number 1 with attempts in the game.
Will be playing very well despite the groin injury. Back door. And a good follow that time by Wicks. But he picked up 3 quick fouls in that first half, and he was on the bench. Bird with 23. That is a difficult shot at best, but the clock was running down. Ford follows. San Diego has scored 8 straight unanswered points. And Archibald nails it from outside. And all of a sudden here they come back down to Taylor. And there was the case of Archibald was caught napping. Didn't get Archibald on him. Free. Ford picking him up. Bingo Smith, and he is deadly from there.
He is, and he had a big double pick that time. Sidney Wicks and Nader set that right in the lane, and you can't leave Bingo Smith alone.
Boy, that 33-year-old former Tulsa standout can still shoot the basketball. Archibald looking for Roby inside. Here it goes to Roby. Nader, and nice hook by Rick Roby.
Right hand that time. As you said so well in the first half, he does it ambidextrous inside.
12 points now for the former Kentucky All-American. Free, he's going to put one up. And those are the usual results.
Really difficult.
Bingo Smith wheeling in. Oh, that is another tough shot. Here's Bird bringing it down, and they have 3-on-2. Archibald, and he hits the deck again. That guy's on the floor more than anybody in the league.
Boy, he sure is, and that hurts. You've got the flu, and you've got a banged-up knee in the first half, and you go down again.
Bingo Smith back to the other end again, and Bird keeps it in play off to Archibald. Archibald to Ford, and they're running the ball right now. Chris Ford will have another crack at it. Off to Roby. Bird, very good ball movement.
Oh, how about that pass? 4 passes that were just beautiful, moving that ball around. That's what Dave Cowens talked about.
They'll keep him.
Yeah, they probably will.
Free with Ford on him. Boy, that is so pretty, the way he uses the glass.
It really is. They cleared aside that time. One-on-one, he's unstoppable.
He has 23 points. Archibald rejected by Wicks. Bird off to Archibald again. And Roby's in there. The multiple shots by Boston is paying off.
Left-handed, just going to the boards, just dominating the boards at both ends.
San Diego climbed within 2. All of a sudden is down 73-67. Free looking for points 24 and 25, and he got them.
Unbelievable. Lloyd Free came into the lane, no help that time. Chris Ford just can't handle him by himself.
There's Archibald with Free on him. Free, a big, strong guy, as we mentioned, jumps so well and yet has the great touch. Here's Bird, 6'10" against 6'6", and we have a foul on Bingo Smith, trying to keep him from going inside.
Well, he really banged him that time. Bird had good position down low when he started to turn for that shot. Bingo will let him have it in the back.
That's what makes Bird effective, isn't it, Keith? He's 6'10", and he doesn't really play the power forward, so you got a small forward trying to pick him up.
That's right. He's always moving. He's not like a big guy that just comes down and sets up in the lane. Moves, and he passes that ball so well. And when he finally does set up down low at 6'10", 6'5" guard just can't guard him.
You see what he's done today, 25 points. He's headed for a big afternoon. Well, the Boston Celtic tradition has always been rich, and it could even get richer with this guy, Pistol Pete Maravich, who'll soon be wearing that green and white. Realize today's their 18th sellout of the year and 26 home games.
And you know, in their history here in Boston Garden, they've never done that before.
I didn't realize that.
That's right.
Even with all those winning teams.
All of those winning teams this year.
Cowens and Maravich are going to create some interest. They get in there as a pair. And we have a foul. Maxwell reaching in on Sidney Wicks, and Bob Rakel spots him, and that's his second personal. Max and ML Carr.
That's right.
Here's Free, and look at that jumper. That's a tough shot.
Oh, I'll tell you, it's tough. That's an understatement right there.
But he just shoots it right in your face. 75-71 as Free continues to mount the points. Here's Larry Bird, and he comes back and answers it.
It's like Bill Fitch is telling him, you've got the hot hand, my man. You've got to shoot that shot.
He has 27 points. Larry Bird headed for a big afternoon. You know, his biggest of the year was 32. So he is right on track to having his best day of the season. Swin Nader, and he hasn't been to do it. Look at this. Boy, it's getting close in San Antonio, isn't it?
San Antonio is coming back.
Archibald. Boy, they caught him napping, and Free is unhappy with himself.
Didn't know it was coming.
Here's Archibald directing traffic as we have 8 seconds on the shot clock. Ford to Bird. Bryant couldn't do anything with him.
That's just unbelievable, that play. He gave the fake pass. Both players went with the fake, and he just dropped it through.
29 points now for the Bird. He won the foul there. Bryant going to put one up, try to match his basket. Doesn't do it. Nader can't come up with it, and Free has it. They reset the shot clock. Taylor out to Free. Free wants to shoot again. Look at him. He gets that ball down like that. You know where he's going with it. He got that one off, and it was partially blocked. Roby had it for a moment. Wicks tries to board with it, and Bird comes away with it. Tough inside.
I should say, Bird behind his back dribble, bringing that ball down the floor.
Kiney's going inside. He scored 2 underneath now.
Control line has been what's kept San Diego in the game.
Bingo Smith back in. Here's Free, picked up by Chris Ford. Bingo, three-pointer.
And that's what we're talking about.
What's that, 3 for him today?
That's right.
3 three-pointers. He has 19 points, and they cut it to 8. Archibald with Free on him. Larry Bird having a sensational game. He has 29 points. Maxwell is fouled by Bryant. No, Maxwell called with a foul.
That's it.
Roby has to chase it down. Ford, three-point play. And there he is, Mr. Automatic. He was 4 of 5 last Sunday against Seattle.
And you can hear the response of the fans. They've come to not only appreciate that, but to expect it out of Chris Ford.
You know, the interesting thing, he's hit at least 1 three-pointer in 17 of the last 19 games.
That's phenomenal. That's great shooting. And the incredible statistic, Gary, what we were talking about, I mentioned earlier that he's shooting 48% from the three-point range, and he's shooting 47% overall, higher from farther outside.
Most guys that take 47% in any shooting situation. Right. Here's Archibald off to Roby. There's that left-handed hook of his, trying to keep it in play, but Nader gets the best of it this time. Off it comes. Taylor, and Taylor quickly got down for that one.
That was a beautiful pass by Nader. Only a quick man could have caught up with that ball.
Back at the other end, though, and Roby walked with the ball. And field goal percentage, second in rebounding. Bingo with Bird. Boy, Bingo is on fire here this afternoon. Wicks brings it out now to Bryant. Here's Ford bringing it down. The Celtics getting rebounding from all 5 of their players. ML Carr.
That was a beautiful fast break, but you've got to credit Tiny Archibald for that sense.
Free now trying to set it up. They're going for the last shot of the third quarter. Ford is playing tough out there. And just like that, with 2 seconds left in this third quarter, he nails it. And so they cut the lead to 10. The Clippers on 3 occasions have trailed by 10 by as many as 12. Good defense by San Diego. Ford follows. And Nader, just with good tenacity, comes out of there with it. And wide open all by himself, Freeman Williams. Bryant leans in, and Bird comes away with it. Out it comes to Ford. Beautiful play to Archibald. Junkins at 6'6" has a height advantage. Here's Swin Nader, and out to Bryant. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Broken up by ML Carr. Great hands by Carr. Archibald. Bird, he just goes down the middle.
That's just Celtic tradition right there. Beautiful job by Archibald bringing the ball down. Both wingmen were covered that time, and Bird did a fine job cutting down the lane.
He is 1 point short of his career high in the NBA. He has 31 points. Here's Bryant. Bird got a hand on it. And wait a minute, Bird and Bryant a little upset after that play, kind of pushing each other.
That's right. Bryant held on to Bird's hand that time. He couldn't get away.
Bryant hit it dead center. Bird, and he now has a career high of 33 points.
That's the best way to do your talking out there. Instead of getting physical, just say, hey, take this.
Good point.
Knock it down.
Freeman Williams out to Bryant. Bryant and Bird having quite a confrontation, and he got him that time. Larry Bird committing the foul.
He sure did. His 4th personal foul. Bryant did a nice job that time getting Bird off his feet. That's one of the things that the defender should always do is stay down when they're giving those fakes.
Bird, as I said, is 9th in the NBA in rebounding. He has averaged 10.5 a game. He has 7 today, and he's going to leave for a while. I think Bill Fitch sensed he was a little bit ornery out there. A little bit heated. So they let him sit down and kind of relax a little.
That's right. And Fitch is over talking to him right now. And that's really a good point that you made, Derek. He's a young man coming into the league. He's got a lot to learn. Fitch just swung his arm down there, telling him you don't swing down when you're playing defense on a man on the outside. Keep the hands straight up.
A lot to learn in this game of basketball. I'm sure you can attest to that.
No question about it. Bird has a very fine instinct for the game.
He's a competitor.
It won't take him long.
10-point lead for the Celtics. That's Junkins. Rebound early in the game. Roby, Malovic is on him. Here's ML Carr. What a pass to Roby. The basket will count, and he's fouled. Beautiful pick. Carr. Carr back to Fernston. Again, Carr setting him up.
That's right. The beautiful teamwork by these players. Fernston not even a regular, and he's just blending right in.
I think it's contagious. You're playing well, and you can't wait to get off that bench and contribute.
That's right.
Malovic off to Williams. Freeman Williams. Three-point play. Rebound by Nader. Nader, and he got that one to go.
Boy, I think that Pete, this is just a new life for him coming here.
Henderson.
Especially what he's gone through.
Judkins. Judkins is the guy some people speculate may leave when Maravich is added to the team. Bird on the move. Larry Bird has already established a career high, now has 35 points for the afternoon.
Sensational move by Bird from the outside. Nice pass coming over the side. Malovic cuts off the baseline. Good one step to the right, down the middle. And hardly any help at all. Joe Bryant comes over, but he was very late. You've got to have somebody clogging the middle in there, so he's got to pull up on the outside.
Boy, if you were going to select an MVP today, you'd have to really consider Larry Bird, wouldn't you?
I should say. And as you say that, picks up a foul in the backcourt.
Despite that point.
And Bill Fitch is up off the bench, grabbing his head with both hands.
Well, that's 5 on Bird, so Maxwell and Bird both have 5 personal fouls, and I don't need to tell you, Celtics are depleted on that bench as it is.
Bill Fitch is watching Larry Bird walk down the floor, and he says, Larry, after that talk we had, after you came out the last time, how can you do it?
And a backcourt foul.
That's right.
3 to make 2. Talk about a new lease on life. How about this guy, Bryant?
That's right. Coming out of Philadelphia, he was very unhappy on the bench there in Philly. Getting a lot more time in San Diego than he did in Philadelphia.
2 on 1. Malovic is back, but he can't stop Carr. Driving Carr back in. There's Malovic out of San Diego State. Carr with a rebound. And here we go. Bird to Fernston, and that was a good team effort. Bird said, let the guy have it.
I'll tell you, very, very rarely do you see a play like that with 2 men going down and the other player giving it up to a teammate. That's really sensational. That deserves the applause that they're getting here in Boston.
That just adds another dimension of why Boston's successful.
Oh, I'll tell you, that gives me goosebumps seeing a play like that.
And the crowd is still applauding here. That unselfish play by Larry Bird.
That's right.
There is Henderson being fouled. And now coming in for the first time is Tan Pat. I got to take a run at this one. Petkavich out of Auburn, and Bird leaves. And a standing ovation here from this Boston Garden crowd. 36 points for Larry Bird.
Bill Fitch grabbed him as he was going by. He's got one final word for him over there. Don't foul in the backcourt like that anymore, Larry.
Boy, what an addition he is to the NBA.
Oh, you can hear in the background how much the fans appreciate his addition to this team and what he's meant for the franchise here in Boston.
16 sellouts, and a play like he made today, just that one play, I'll bring him back.
That's exactly right.
Freeman Williams. Williams just not getting that ball to go down for him today.
Let's try that fast break again.
Oh, boy, the Henderson get up in the air on that one. Weatherspoon trying to follow. It is tough in there. Malovic comes away with it, and 2 points.
Did play worse defense through the season. Beautiful pass. Again, that passing is paying off.
It's a nice pass on the baseline, but they can't get the ball to go down. Here's Henderson again. 1:11 left in the game. Off to ML Carr. A little head feint to Judkins.
Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Walt.
That's right. It won't be long.
Williams back to the other end. Fernston, Petkavich back. Nice pass that time to Freeman Williams. And that's just about going to do it. 128 to 108. Judkins, 3-point play, and he got it.
That's a fitting finish in the Boston Garden.
That put the lid on it. Let's look at it.
Let's pick him up. Right behind that line. Oh, he might have just touched that line. Nevertheless, the ball went through and they gave him 3.
Judkins had a good game Friday night, and he comes back in here and again acquits himself very well. 131 to 108, and you look at the scoring in this game. Well, you got to think of Larry Bird with 36, and of course Lloyd Free himself coming in with 35.
Just a tremendous effort by Larry Bird today. His career high in the NBA, 36 points, and I'm sure before he's through it'll be much higher than that.